What is up, guys? It's your boy Torius, back here with another video. And today I'm gonna be explaining the differences between science and spirituality, right? So like the video, comment below what you think, subscribe if you're new, let's get into it. So, first of all, spirituality makes you crazy, just like me. I'm just kidding. So I always have these kind of debates all the time, right? These kind of conversations, like, science, right? I'm a funny person, right? Because I'm that type of person. I'm like the spiritual person that's kind of Republican, right? And I'm not saying I'm full Republican because I don't give a fuck about politics, but I feel like I lean more towards that side than like any other side because I don't fucks with the liberals, right? They're the left or whatever. Like the people that I don't fuck with. I just don't fuck with people that have a victim complex, right? That are on dumb to me, right? Basically, right? It's like people that are like, oh, eat the rich. Oh, America sucks, right? Like I can't fucks with those people. But I like to debate them, right? I love debating them because especially like people like my brother, right? Like he'll tell me like, oh, the rich people, they hoard all their money. You know, they should be giving their money away to everybody. And it's like, why? Why the fuck? Like why not? Like if it's theirs, they keep it. They earned it, right? Why the fuck should they give it away? Like I'm all about donating money because I decided to. Like, why are you telling someone else how they should spend their money? Like, I don't give a fuck how much money you have. Like, you can't tell me, oh, you know. And it's like I don't give a fuck about how unfair shit is, right? Like I be talking about dating and stuff, right? And dudes be like, oh, it's unfair. Girls are like this, girls have that. It's like, so, nigga, play your role. You feel me? Like even I was watching this movie In Time, right? And In Time, they're explaining how like, oh, the poor people have to stay poor. And it's like, even like the middle class, like, bruh, I know it's like, I should just make that a video, right? Like, eat the rich. That's what I'm gonna call it. Yeah. So in Time, he's basically there. You know, they base it all the time is going to the rich people, and all the poor people are other poor people like, bruh, my time. And it's like, you know, that's just the world we live in, bruh. It's like, yeah, you could change it, but it's gonna end up that way anyways. That's just how the universe works, right? When you have some, you attract more. When you have less, you attract less. And rich people know this. Like, I have more money now than ever in my life because I understand these principles, right? And I'm just going up from here. Like, I'm not rich yet, but I know I'm gonna get there because the more I have, the more I'm gonna get. You feel me? So it's like, rich people understand these things, and poor people don't. You get me? So poor people just complain. Like, that's why they're poor in the first place, because first of all, money is like energy. Why am I don't mean to talk about this, right? Science versus spirituality, right? A lot of times, science people, they'll be like, oh, energy, oh, the planets, right? And like when they're like making fun of astrology or astronomy or whatever, or spirituality, and they'll talk about like, oh, there's no such thing as chakras. Like, bruh, bro, I was believing in chakras before because I used to watch Naruto, right? And when I would watch Naruto, like the entire show, I feel like Naruto kind of is like a gateway to like spirituality, right? Because it's like when you watch Naruto's literally all spirituality, right? It's all spiritual shit. It's like all literally Shinto religion, Buddhism. Like they literally have like the Hindu is like the nigga, the Shiva or whatever. The nigga with the 10,000 hands and shit. You feel me? So it's like, if you watch Naruto, you're pretty much prone to spirituality. You feel me? So when I watch I've never seen Boruto yet. A comment if it's good or not, because everyone tells me it's bad. But I haven't watched Naruto in so long. I would love to watch it again. But when it comes to spirituality, you know, I feel like, because I've always, like, backstory, I grew up Catholic, right? I grew up going to church every Sunday and laughing at spiritual people, because like I would see people with like, oh, these are my stones, my rocks, and I'm just like, why are you holding rocks? Like, what are rocks gonna do? But now I understand. It's funny because science kind of got me believing in the rocks, right, in the stones. Like, I was watching a TED Ed video, right? It's about like diamonds and shit, or like crystals, and it was a TED Ed video about crystalline structures. And the thing is like, that TED Ed, it's funny because TED Ed is all about science, right? And what happens is that the science kind of explains the spirituality part, because if you understand atoms and energy, right? Atoms is basically like the physical, right? Atom is the physical, energy is the non-physical, right? Like, there's energy all around us. Like, me being able to do this causes energy. ATP happens in my body. I'm processing the food that I eat, the water that I drink. I'm processing all of that, the air that I breathe, right? It's all coming together for me to be able to move my hand, for me to be able to have skin, for me to be able to move my mouth and talk, right? And speak and do all this stuff. This is all science, right? It's all science, but energy, it works in the same way, right? Like people laugh at energy, like, oh, you guys use it a different way, like, oh, his energy, oh, his energy. It's like, no, man, this is all the same shit, right? Some people are more dense than other people. You feel me? Because it's like, if you're just like eating chicken wings and hot fries all day, right? Those kind of foods, they don't have water in them, right? What happens is when you eat like a hamburger and you don't take out the lettuce, like eating a cheeseburger with just the cheese, like bread is like a sponge, right? What is a sponge? A sponge can get wet, but is it? No. A sponge soaks up water. That means that it has to be the opposite in order to soak it up. Water does absorb more water, but a sponge is basically dry, right? I'm just saying it's dry. When you eat dry foods, right? Foods that are dry, like meat. That's why I've been watching a lot of Kitchen Nightmares, right? When you watch Kitchen Nightmares, Gordon Ramsay's always upset at the food that the cooks eat, right? The cooks make, because like whenever they're frozen, and he's like, oh, this is frozen. Why is it frozen? Blah, blah, blah. You serve frozen food in the restaurant? And he gets so mad, right? And before I was thinking, what's wrong with frozen food? But then I realized, oh, okay, it's because it makes it dry, right? The frozen food makes the chicken, the meat, the burgers and all that shit, it makes it dry. So it's like you're taking out all the juice, you're taking out the vibration, right? I could tell Gordon Ramsay is all about vibes and energy and shit. Like, he might not be, but I could tell he understands the principles, right? He could be as Catholic or whatever he is. I don't know what his religion is, but he can be as much of it as he wants. But I can understand he understands energy and how energy works, right? Because when you're eating like these thick foods that are just like not water, like even science explains it, bro. It's like when you're eating all this junk food, like chips, potato chips, it's all dry food. It's all shit that has no water in it, right? So water has a vibration, right? It's a liquid. Liquid has a more freer density than dry solid food, right? So liquid is not solid, it's flexible, it's liquid, right? So when you eat fruits like fruits, vegetables, juicy burgers, juicy steaks and all that shit, like fresh food, fresh just means it has more water in it, like the blood is still flowing, right? Like when you get a fresh burger and you eat that shit, like that's why it's so important to eat fresh meat. Like you don't want to eat frozen meat, right? Like the other day I made a burger it was a fresh burger. Like, yeah, it's still a burger, yeah, it's still red meat, but I made that shit and I felt clean eating it, right? Because normally when I eat burgers, I feel dirty, like especially if it's Burger King. Like I'll eat Burger King, I'll go to fucking sleep, right? But I ate this burger that I made, and it was so good, bro. It wasn't like it was so good. It was all right, but I could feel the density. Like it was still a burger, you know what I mean? But it's like I felt like clean. I felt cleaner eating it than if I ate like a fucking McDonald's burger or like like frozen shit. Why am I saying this? Because it's like like certain people have certain vibrations, right? Like if you're eating junk food all the time, you're gonna have a denser vibration than a person that's eating clean, right? When you eat clean, when you eat fruits and vegetables and healthy food that's in water, like fish, right? Like when you eat shit like that, it's more healthy. But why is it more healthy? Because it makes you more liquid. It makes you more watery. You get me? Like it makes sense, right? It makes sense because atoms are vibrating. Atoms are vibrating to be solids, liquids, or gases, right? And it's like you can't eat gas, but that's why air, that's why air is so good for you, because it's like gas. Like air is like air is not food, right? Don't quote me saying that air is food, but it's like it's more beneficial for you to drink, to breathe in the air than to eat anything, right? Because you can survive without food, but you can't survive without air. So so yeah, when it comes to spirituality, right? Spirituality, I felt like I was just saying this in another video. I feel like spirituality explains more things than science does, right? Because spirituality can explain the same exact stuff as science. Because science is just labels, right? Even the scientific method is just labeling stuff. It's like, oh, I saw this happen like 3 times, so you know what? It's repeatable. It's gonna happen again. So that means it's science, right? That means it's evidence. That means it happens in the world. It's like, okay, man, spirituality explains the things that happen one time, right? And then science calls it anecdotes, right? Because the thing is, because it's like, what's the point? Right? Like science is just to put in a box things that can be put in a box, right? Science, like, because the thing is, not every single day is the same. You feel me? Like bruh, like there could there could be a Godzilla that comes up out of the water, right? And it's like, science knows that there's never been a Godzilla before, right? Like in real life, right? Like if there was a Godzilla, let's say the Godzilla has like a squid head, right? There's never been a Godzilla with a squid head before. So it's like, how can science prove that? It's real, it's here, right? It's physically here. But it's like, can science prove it? Because there's never, like, are you gonna put a hypothesis? And I forgot the other parts of the scientific method. But are you gonna hypothesize, is there really a squid-headed Godzilla in real life? Right? It's like, no, you're not. It's right in front of you. It's gonna destroy everything. Are you gonna have time to make the science? Are you gonna wait for another squid-faced Godzilla monster? What if there's only one, right? You don't know that. It's gonna kill you. You feel me? So it's like, is it like science just boxes in things that can be boxed in? It's like spirituality. Don't get me wrong, spirituality doesn't explain everything, but it's like my boy told me one time. He said, "There's always an answer for every question," right? And it's funny because like when I listen to my books, they say like you know, when you ask yourself a question, your brain just works to answer it, right? It always works. The brain just works to figure it out. What is the answer to this question? So it just keeps making answers. It could be correct or it could not. And I feel like that's why it's important for like us to have the scientific method, because it gives us the answers, because our brains are going to give us a billion fucking answers, but it's like, which one is the right answer? So that's why you have to keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating it so you can see it just right. Just like when Newton found out about gravity, it's like, yo, this apple fell on my head, and I heard that's not the real way, but whatever, for the sake of the video, let's say it was, right? So the apple fell on Newton's head, and he's like, yo, man, that's crazy. Right? So, dang. So yeah, that's basically, you know, to me, science, because I've had ego death, right? I've had I feel like I've had it twice, right? Or 3 times maybe, where I just literally forgot who the fuck I was. I feel like I have it every single time I do LSD and not mushrooms. Every time I do LSD, not every time I do my LSD, but twice when I smoke weed, I get ego death, right? And when I do LSD, I get ego death, and I had it a couple times, right? And basically, it's like I see the world with no labels, you know. It's like I see them like, I was with my friends, like, what are these? Oh my god, that's crazy. I was like, what are these things? Why are these guys my friends? Like, why do these people? That was so insane. It's like I'm remembering it, but it's crazy. But yeah, I don't know, bro. Like, I've seen the life without labels, so it's like, to me, science. Don't get me wrong, I believe in science, right? I believe in all that shit, but I also believe in spirituality. You know, I believe in astrology. It's funny because I'm reading a book about astrology, and I was thinking like, because where the book is like, it's saying like, oh, let's say that you're in a party, and then they're just like, oh, what do? You teach astrology? You're like, well, you actually believe in that stuff? And then they're thinking like, well, and then like, explain it to me, like, I don't understand astrology. And they're like, well, Neptune is in ascending, and and I was thinking like, what would I say, right? Because to me, like, I don't give a fuck about astrology, right? Like, it's fun. It's a fun thing to do. I don't really like. I'll look into it, right? Because I used to read my horoscope every day, and a lot of times it was very accurate, right? And it was like spookily accurate. It was kind of like, damn, this is like very specific to what happened today, right? So I do believe in it, right? I do believe in it, but I don't give a fuck about it, right? Like, I'm not like a basic astrology bitch. It's like, oh my god, what's your sign? Like, I'll ask, because it's like, why not? Like, why? Because I don't know, bro. It's like, to me, astrology is just like smoking weed, right? It's like an excuse, right? It's like something else to talk about, you know? It's like when you want to hang out with a girl, right? What do you do? Like, hey, you come over and smoke, right? That's like for me, that's the most fun way to hang out with a girl. It's like, oh, she comes over, we smoke. To me, I feel like, oh, come over and have a drink. Like, that's so like, hey, come over, let's fuck. You feel me? Like, I might as well just say that, right? But you know, like, oh, come over and smoke. I don't know, bro. To me, it's more open to, I don't know. I feel like it's like safer, so I feel like that's why I like it so much. But I've had a lot of fun because I don't even like drinking, bro. I like smoking. Like, smoking weed is fun. But the thing is like, smoking weed is you know, it's something to do, right? Like she comes over, you smoke some weed, and then you go back, like you just smash whatever. But it's like it's something to do. You feel me? Because weed lasts for hours. I feel like the weed is perfect, bro. Weed is like the most perfect thing ever. Except it ruins your life, right? If it didn't ruin your life, then you'll be chilling. But yeah, to me, astrology is just like that, right? It's just like, oh yeah, like girls like astrology, so let me talk to them about astrology, right? Oh yeah, astrology. Like I do believe in it, right? I can't talk to you about it unless I actually believe in it. Like I commit myself to astrology. I'm reading books about it and shit. Like I said, I've read my horoscope every single day, so I know so much about Pisces, right? But and other shit. But I mean, like, it's not the end all be all. It's not like, oh my god, like I die for astrology. You feel me? But yeah, I don't want to make this video too long because I just realized it's 7 minutes in again after I just recorded it. So if you guys believe in spirituality, comment why it's better than science. And if you believe in science, comment why spiritual people are dumb, because I know that's what you think. But if you believe in both, just explain. You know, like I want to start an argument. I want to start a war, right? Science versus spirituality. Imagine it's like a holy war. I want to start a war. You feel me? So yeah, just comment below what you think, you know, and like the video, comment below what you think, subscribe if you're new, and if you have any questions, just DM me on Instagram at Torius and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Please, and don't forget to subscribe to the Patreon as well. Deuce.